Psalms 137 and 8. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. Happy the one who repays you as you have served us. Let's discuss America in Bible prophecy. Hello and welcome to Revealed. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Otis Lewis. In this episode, I'll be discussing America, the world's most powerful nation to exist. Exodus chapter 34, verse 14 through 17. Do not worship any other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land, for when they prostitute themselves to their gods and to sacrifice to them, they will invite you and you will eat their sacrifices. And when you choose some of their daughters as wives for your sons, and those daughters prostitute themselves to their gods, they will lead your sons to do the same. Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. This harlotry, this nation, will be the mother of harlots. Harlotry. When the Lord God, when he gave out the first commandment in Exodus 20 and 2, you shall have no other gods before me. And when the children of Israel went off to worship these other gods, he called it harlotry. So that means this Babylon the Great will be the mother of harlotry. Jeremiah 50 and verse 38. Give me a little, excuse me, it's live, so bear with me. Jeremiah 50 and 38. A drought is against her waters, and they will be dried up. For it is the land of carved images, and they are insane with their idols. So when I think about this harlotry, we think about, let's say, Mount Rushmore, the Statue of the Liberty, even grave sites. All around this nation, we see harlotry, idols. The monuments in Washington, D.C., outside of sporting arenas. I mean, they even got one of Jefferson Davis. They had this one called Christ of the Ozarks. America is a pagan nation that's insane with harlotry. They teach you this, the zodiac. Things are happening to your life today if you are of a Libra or a Virgo. America has turned away from God. And it also says that this nation, which is the mystery, Babylon the Great, will also be the abominations of the earth. Well, when you look at America and you say, well, what is one of the biggest abominations they have here? And that's the marriage of same sex. We know that this is an abomination to God because look what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, the people in Sodom and Gomorrah were trying to have sex with the angels who came to destroy it. This nation, America, as in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's an abomination. Now I know, like some of the cleansing laws of food, we say that Christ took away with. But look at America of the abomination of foods, pork industry, seafood, things that are not supposed to be eaten, or the things that are supposed to be eaten of everything in the sea has to have fins. So that means shellfish. And a lot of this shellfish contains cholesterol and sodium from the water, which is unhealthy. So this abomination, this harlotry, this is America. Now also, it talks about the wealth and merchants. Revelation 18, verse 3, it says, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxuries. So when we talk about the merchants and let's look at the top 10 U.S. ports. And keep in mind, the United States makes up 20%, 26% of total world consumption. 26% in this one nation. And also the ocean freight industry is crucial to America's economy. In 2017, America had the most billionaires with 680. China was second with 338. This is the luxury. In 2017, also the largest consumer markets of the world was the United States. China was second. And the EU was in between the first and second. I don't know how they did that, but the US was first. What is a merchant? A merchant is a person who trades in commodities produced by other people. And the person who introduces those commodities is usually not the one who's making them. For instance, we say, look at Nike. Nike shoes are made in Indonesia, China. I don't, too much know the specific of it. I should have looked it up. But for instance, I'm just showing you the merchants. Nike, Lexus, Honda, TDH Holdings, which is a Chinese manufacturer of pet foods, also sells in the United States. So when it says the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxuriously with her, when she is destroyed, they will weep and lament for her. When they see the smoke of her burning, standing at a distance for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment is come. So if America is destroyed, the only way someone would be weeping, or if any other country was destroyed, people will not weep and wail. But if America is destroyed, people will weep and wail. So when it talks about the wealth and the merchants, that's America. That is this nation. She fits everything in Revelation 17 and 18. And another key point is in Isaiah 47, it talks about the enchantments and sorceries. Now I've heard through the years that the sorcerers would be like the pharmaceuticals, because sorcery or in Greek is pharmakai, something like that. But they got this wrong. They got it wrong because the sorceries, as in Isaiah 47 and verse, it says, for you have, this is Isaiah 47 and 10, I'm sorry, verse 9, but these two things shall come to you in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon you in their fullness because of the multitude of your sorceries, for the great abundance of your enchantments. This is what they're missing. This is what the sorceries are. But first, let's parallel this to Revelation to let you know that these two nations are one and the same, the daughter of Babylon and Babylon the Great. So it talks about the sorceries, and then also in Revelation 18:23, it says, the light of a lamp shall not shine in you more, and the voice of bridegroom and bride shall not be heard in you anymore, for your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorcery all the nations were deceived. For instance, this is the sorcery. Let's say you take this very thing my platform is from, the internet, computers, television. If they could see television back then, they would call it a sorcery if you went back in time. Cars, planes, trains, all these things were made in America from their youth. America has done this from her youth, has dominated this globe ever since her conception. There can only be one nation, and this nation is the United States of America. Now let's look at Isaiah 47 again, and we're going to parallel, because Paul says to study yourself approved, a workman unto God, needed not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. So in 47 and 8 it says, therefore hear this now, you who are given the pleasures, think about it, that's America, who dwell securely. Who's going to attack America? America is the world's most powerful military nation. America spends over $600 billion on its defense. That's 7 times greater than the next 4 countries combined, or is it 4 times greater than the next 7 countries combined? But anyway, America spends a lot of money on its defense. And if you Google anywhere, America is the #1 military power. And right now, the only superpower. So this nation is a world superpower that influences the nation. Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore, hear this now, you who are given the pleasures, who dwell securely, who say in your heart, I am, and there's no one else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, nor shall I know the loss of children. Revelation 18, verse 7. In the measure that she glorified herself and lived luxuriously, in the same manner give her torment and sorrow, for she says in her heart, I sit as a queen and am no widow, and will not see sorrow. Exact same nation. Verse 9 of Isaiah 47. But these two things shall come to you in a moment.